Hey guys, it's Keena. Welcome back to my channel, and today we are going to be discussing insomnia and some natural remedies and treatments to be able to help. And by insomnia, in case you didn't know, it's really just the inability to fall asleep or the inability to stay asleep once you have fallen asleep. And it really can be caused by anything. It can be caused by stress, it can be caused by certain medications that we take, and it can also be caused by dietary issues. So I know a lot of you guys on my channel are low carb, diabetic, keto, things like that. And whenever I get back on keto, if I take a break, that like couple weeks at the beginning of converting your body to using fat as fuel instead of sugar and carbohydrates, insomnia is a huge deal. Like it's part of what they call the keto flu. So I understand, believe me, that it's so uncomfortable. It messes up the next day. It makes you just more tired and it's just overwhelming. So today we're going to be going over 3 herbs that can help you guys fall asleep. Okay, so our first herb is going to be Lavender officinalis, which is better known as lavender. So lavender is an herb where we're going to be using the aerial parts or the flower of the actual herb. So no roots, no stems, nothing like that, just the flower. And I think everybody has probably seen dried lavender before. It's purple and it's almost like little petals, I guess, like almost like little cylindrical petals. So that's the part of the plant that we're going to use. And the reason why we can use lavender or Lavender officinalis for getting to sleep or staying to sleep is because it has so many great properties. Now, some people know of it as being more calming. People use it for meditation or relaxation, which is great for, obviously, but also for sleep. So lavender is nervine, meaning that it can calm the nervous system or any nervous disorders. So that's a great one. Also, it's hypnotic, which is just a fancy word for helps you fall asleep, which is what we want. We want something to help us go to sleep and stay asleep. It's actually antidepressant. So if you are on antidepressant medication and maybe that is keeping you hardwired and then you can't fall asleep and it's this crazy cycle, then it's actually really helpful because it'll help with the medications that you're already taking more than likely, and it'll also help you fall asleep and hopefully stay asleep and not just fall asleep. Lavender is actually hypotensive as well, so that just is another fancy word for bringing down your blood pressure. So if you have high blood pressure, it can bring that blood pressure down, which is great. And it's also antispasmodic. So antispasmodic, again, is another fancy word for it stops or decreases spasms in the body. So if you have like muscle spasming, some people have like restless leg stuff at night. I know Charlie horses can be really rough, especially in pregnancy and stuff like that, and you can't fall asleep. So all of these things that really help calm down not just the mind, but the body are great for using lavender to fall asleep. There are no known contraindications or interactions with lavender, so it's regarded as very safe to take to fall asleep. And it can be taken in it can be taken in a tincture, but it's kind of rare. But I've shown you guys on the channel how to make tinctures, so you can see that other video on how to make a tincture if you want it in tincture. But the easiest way is just in an infusion or tea. And that's going to be 1 teaspoon per cup of hot water. And you're just going to let that steep for that like 10 to 15 minutes. And then you're going to drink it as normal. Now, some people can drink the tea up to 3 times a day, and it keeps you more calm and relaxed. But if you're using it for sleep and you notice that lavender makes you sleepy, then just save it for 10 to 30 minutes before bedtime. Okay, so our next herb, number 2, is actually one of my favorite ones to just say, and it's Passiflora incarnata, which also is just passion flower. So passion flower is another really great herb for sleep and rest, and we use the leaves of the passion flower. So that's going to be one that you want to remember, that if you see any weird stuff online or something for what to buy, just know that you're looking for passion flower leaves. And this is another great one. It's nervine. So we talked about how that keeps the nervous system kind of calm and under control, keep that monkey mind from going all crazy. It's hypnotic, which we just learned. It means helps you fall asleep, which we all want that. That's the point of this video, is to go to sleep, right? It's antispasmodic as well, meaning any of those muscle spasms or any tension, it'll help to release and reduce. And it is also hypotensive, so reduces the blood pressure helps you calm down, relax, and is an all-around really good herb for falling asleep. And it's kind of like that medium, like if you have a hard time falling asleep, you know, the next one I'm gonna tell you guys about is like the big daddy. Passion flower is like that intermediate, and then like lavender is like if it's just like, you know, every now and again you have a hard time relaxing and falling asleep. Now, a caution for passion flower is that it is contraindicated if you take MAOI inhibitors. So if you take any medication that falls into that category, then you want to avoid the passion flower, and you definitely want to speak maybe with your doctor about what maybe that you can take from an herbal perspective or even prescription to help fall asleep. So that's a good one. And then obviously it's a dose. So because it's a leaf, we can make it in a tea. Which is usually the easiest, and it can help create this like nighttime routine where you make a nice warm cup of tea before you go to sleep. And if you decide to do that, then it's just 1 teaspoon per cup of hot water at night, you know, before you get ready to fall asleep. I would say, like I said, that 10 to 30 minutes. Make sure you're not going to be driving, any of that kind of stuff, because if you start to get drowsy, we don't want that. We want to be calm and relaxed and at home and ready to go to bed. And then if you are a tincture person like myself who prefers tinctures because they're so quick working, then I would say take 1 to 4 milliliters, which basically is about a quarter teaspoon to about 3/4 of a teaspoon if you don't know the metric system like most of us don't. And so like, yeah, 1 to 4 milliliters at nighttime, or you can take, like I said, a quarter teaspoon up to basically a teaspoon. So you're all good there. Okay, now our third and final herb, which like I said is the big daddy. It is really the one that'll knock you out and get you some good sleep. So if you have been struggling to sleep, if you've tried those other two and it's like it's not working, then this is what will likely be for you. And this herb is called Valeriana officinalis, also known as Valerian. And then Valerian, we're going to be using the root or the rhizome. It's always going to be dried for pretty much all herbs, so just know that. And this is another one, like I said, but it's very potent, so you really don't necessarily have to use it if you're not someone who reacts really well to the first ones. Now again, it's nervine, so calming that nervous system, making you feel relaxed so that you can actually turn over into sleep. Hypnotic, meaning that it helps you fall asleep and stay asleep. It is also hypotensive, so I mean we have a pattern here. These herbs that help you relax, calm down, reduce your blood pressure, go to sleep, like they all kind of play in that same lane, and their indications. So that's really good. And then it's also like the other ones, it's antispasmodic. So if you have any muscle tension, muscle spasming, tightness that kind of prevents you from being able to sleep really calmly and restfully, then this herb will also be good for you. It has actually no known contraindications, and it is safe for pretty much everyone to take. So that's another one. If you need to have like a more powerful sleep aid, but you are on those MAOI inhibitors, then you want to just go straight to the Valerian, and it'll be all good. And the way that we would take the Valerian is going to be, if it's in tincture form, 2.5 milliliters or half a teaspoon at night, you know, before we go to sleep. Obviously no driving and things like that. Or you can make a decoction, which we talked about in some other videos, where an infusion, aka like a tea, is when you pour like hot water over something, let it steep. Where a decoction is very similar, but you actually want to let it boil or simmer for those same 10 to 20 minutes. So that's the difference. And then we use decoctions when the herb is more coarse. So you have like your roots, your rhizomes, barks. That's when we would do a decoction and simmer it, as opposed to just having like leaves or flowers where we can just pour, you know, the hot water on it and let it steep and it's all good. You need a little bit more time and a little bit more heat when we're talking about a decoction. So you can make a decoction, and you can actually make it maybe in bulk for 3 days or for the week, and make you enough so that you can just like drink it maybe cold or even hot, like, you know, each night. So that would be cool. But otherwise, tincture is a really good option. Okay guys, those are my 3 herbal recommendations for sleep disturbance or insomnia. I really hope that they help you get some rest, because we all need it. Our brains cannot take not getting any sleep. So I hope they really help you. Let me know down in the comments if any of these 3 herbs, or even all of them, have helped you get some rest. I'll see y'all next time. Bye.